Did you go into the
We are live.
live?
See if
Excellent.
I get a little.
So everyone give us a thumbs up or, hey, Dr. Misak, welcome. Deja vu for us. We thought that I've been doing a show for 10 minutes and Annie you guys were chatting and say you weren't getting anything. So thank you for that input.
Here, well, Doc, slow down. Let's let this connection catch up and stuff. We are at a poor status right now, so let's just make sure everybody can hear us. Let's see. Good morning. I'm getting some good mornings, so that's a good sign. Okay, we got it. All right, you can go ahead.
Can they hear me?
I think they can.
I think you can. Okay. So I don't know what we've already discussed except for me saying deja vu. Annie and I were probably at least 5 minutes into a show, and then we realized that something wasn't on differently. And I've discovered all this stuff Annie taught me. I went through a back door on how to start the program on the day off weeks, and I've been using it going in a little differently. So Annie and I kind of like, oh, this is how you do it from this way. So it's kind of been a learning experience today. Anyway, welcome again. Today I was trying to think about what we were going to talk about, and because we don't want the show to just get stuck on one subject, but at the same time, I think we do need to keep abreast of what's going on in this world right now, don't we? I love, the Bible app. I always like to start in today's verse. This is kind of weird for me, though. Is John 10:11. It says, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. I don't want to, I hope that does not portray to me in some capacity in an early aspect, because I know some of the things that I say are probably not wanting to be heard in this crazy life. I talked about how many of you are a little disappointed with our country. I mean, we're turning around and looking at less than 1/3 of China's population, and we're now, well over the number of cases, and it just comes down to being responsible to keep from getting this, people. So please, let's work together and get past these viral concerns. And so today I kind of titled the show, do you have stress? How many of us are stressed? Look at finances and what's going on in the world and the uncertainty, and I think it's going to get more uncertain before it kind of gets more certain, before I think we're going to see a little worsening before we see it get better, people. So all I can say, let's get into this and let's see what we can do. So how do we handle our stress? Me, probably, working. I think that me doing things that help other people really, helps me in a huge capacity in handling what's going on in my mind. I mean, I'm sure we all have stuff going on in our mind, but another way is something I'm encouraging Annie to participate with today, and that's called Dr. Misak shots. And so this is not anything from an alcoholic perspective that we're trying to do. It does have some alcohol in it because it is alcohol extracts. And some of you who have been to my clinic and maybe went to a retreat may have got to try this. But basically, to handle the stress of what's going on today, I put a little cocktail together for Annie and I. I can't guarantee taste, but it's acquired. But I give it some
taste. These are horrible. Not horrible. No, not horrible. I think
it's acquired.
We'll see.
So that's kava that you smell. Yeah, definitely kava. So you put kava. So for those of you, I'm just going to kind of give you an idea of one of the things that we do. So kava. Kava is just a relaxing antispasmodic, probably the closest thing in the herbal kingdom to Xanax in today's day and age. Isn't that a scary thought? But kava, you got to watch. There's an article out there about kava and kava lactones being toxic to the liver. And so you'll see a lot of information in the medical media that says kava will fry your liver. And that's if the company that you get it from took, cut corners. The studies came out of Germany showing that the batch that caused that liver toxicity came from leaf and stem, which has a toxic kava lactone that just messes up your liver. So people, that's where product quality comes in, and that's why I always talk about product quality and what we try to put together or sell. So there's a little kava for relaxation in here. There's a couple of ginsengs. There's Eleuthero. Eleuthero is like Korean ginseng. There's rhodiola, again, another adaptogenic herb. Holy basil, again, another herb for adaptogenic, but holy basil is also kind of antimicrobial for you. California poppy is just kind of that. It can put you to sleep, so there's not a lot of it in here. Just relaxes you a little bit. And I put a little squirt of peppermint to give it a little flavor. So you got that schnapps flavor going on. And then the last ingredient I put is grindelia. So those of you who have some type of concern with lungs right now, grindelia. This is Herb Farm. I love Herb Farm. They're kava from best kava in the world. It says my internet connection is unstable. So I have people give us a thumbs up, but I can see where my internet is kind of, I kicked.
Yeah, you're a little laggy, but you're hanging on. You haven't disappeared.
So I think I'm good again.
Okay.
So anyway, Annie, and then the grindelia, I was talking about grindelia. Grindelia is one of the best herbs for just opening up the airways, helping you breathe. I do mix lung herbals for people when they're needed to help overcome things. You'll see herbs like grindelia, one called lingusticum. There's another which is lungwort. Other lung herbals that kind of come together. Kella, mullein. Mullin's really soothing to the lungs. People use cherry, prunus. Prunus is actually like an antispasmodic for a cough, and people also use cramp bark that they use for women's because of the antispasm. So if people are coughing, so there's or Dioscorea as well. Dioscorea does that also. It's that wild yam women use, but we have something here to. This is a way. And if my personality changes in the next 5 minutes, it's cheers to you guys.
Oh boy.
So cheers, Annie. Let's watch Annie's face. Annie, you need to say something.
Oh no, Mikey said we're lagging. Mikey's on. Oh boy.
Oh my God, that's delicious.
Yeah.
All right. I hope you guys are getting some excitement out there in the out there in the media.
Oh my goodness. It wasn't the worst one. It's really
no, it wasn't.
Really cool.
So Annie, I'm going to ask you if you can come grab my phone and figure out why I could not get the chat up, and so I can turn around and answer some questions. So I usually go through YouTube, but for some reason, let's see if I can get on there. And live right there. Okay, cool. Thank you. You got me?
Yeah.
See, that's why I need this technical help, people. So Annie's awesome. So let's see what we got going on here. Red Label, good morning. Connie, good morning. Marty. Let's see. Diana, hello. Can't see you either. Yeah, that's what happened. We started a show and we didn't realize we weren't live. And so that's what's kind of like a deja vu getting back on here. Got to go now. Excellent. Prophet Bear, hey, Doc, I work post office, so I'm working hard today, but I'm so grateful and praising God in this struggle. Yeah, I think we should. I mean, people, you read in the book of Matthew, and God and Christ teaches us how to pray. And the whole first aspect is, our Father, hallowed be your name. It's above all names. Your kingdom come and your will be done. I mean, people, this is crazy what's going on in this world, but it's changing. And I'm hoping that it's for what God wants to happen, people. But we do need to hold together. So I'm grateful. Thank you for prayers. Grateful for your help. Mike lagging. Hey, Mikey's on. If you guys don't know Mikey, I should have him tune in and play some music for us while we're on live. Grindelia for lung protection. Exactly. Thank you. And good morning. So guys, if you guys have questions, obviously bring them to the air and let's, we can talk about that. One of the main things right now, and I've been going over and over is, just being smart. If this virus that we're all concerned about right now, it can hang out in your air purifier. Do you have something that does what's called radiocatalytic ionization?
Hey, Doc,
do you have something that does low dose ozone?
Hey, Doc, we should flip seats because you're lagging.
Yeah.
Yep. We need to flip seats.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We're going to flip seats. Grab your water.
And I forgot it too.
It's the, this Wi-Fi. I will. If you bring it there, I'll sit at the table.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, people. Interesting show today. Hi.
Lots of fun.
It is lots of fun. Musical chairs. Look at we got a professional lady on the other end. So, so what was I saying? Bring me back in where I was, people. I'm going to look here and see. Mike, his kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Amen to that. There's so many things that the Bible foresees, and I just, it's awe-inspiring to be in these times for one. But at the same time, there's a lot of fear that's being created around it. Oh my God, Annie has this aromatherapy here, and I can just sit here and just taking this in.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, so we'll get you back in here. She's going to go and take that computer to one of the pieces of equipment we have. It's called a multi-wave oscillator, and I can sit over there, and we just have to find something for me to put the computer on, and just have a different prop. We're having problems with the internet on that side of the office. So Grindelia was the last thing I mentioned, other than how awesome God is. I love the musical chairs. Thank you. So thinking about what's going on, air quality, so air quality is what we're, the main way this virus gets passed is either in the air or on surfaces, really, because it'll stay on your surfaces up to 90 days is what they're suggesting. So what are you cleaning with? Personally, I have a colloidal silver spray bottle that I put Eve's essential oil in, and that's what I just spray everything. I just mist it all over myself. Perfect, Annie. It looks like you got a good background going there.
Trying. Let's see.
There you go. Okay, so Annie, just make sure you're on the FiOS internet connection right there, and then we'll switch seats again. So, people, air quality. Let's bring it back. So I talked about getting a air purifier that does what's called radiocatalytic ionization. It's using an ultraviolet light with they use like a honeycomb shape that collects water molecules, and then when the water molecules get the UV light, it produces OH hydroxyl groups, and those hydroxyl groups go into your air and they land all over and they kill microbes. 99.97% off of your countertop surfaces, everything. There was a study done at Kansas University or Kansas State University years ago, and the company that mostly promoted it originally was called Alpine Air, then they became EcoQuest, then they became Valara, which they still are. And they had a patent on this technology, but that patent is well expired, so there's other companies out there using that technology in air purification systems. So that plus low dose ozone, you'll find that ozone goes two ways. Some people say that ozone is dangerous and shouldn't be inhaled. That's why we monitor ozone levels. While other medical doctors are injecting ozone into people and having you put it into one of my favorites is a dental office, and they put ozone in your ears, and so what happens is you get it in there, and they put the ozone, and it goes through your ears, and it goes up into your sinuses, and just floods your head, and it's not a very long treatment. But ozone is an antimicrobial. It kills near everything, and so using low dose ozone is not going to. It can't if you'll smell it when you go into a room. It'll smell like chlorine. But when if it's irritating your airways and you have it going too high, so these machines that we get actually turn around and you can adjust how much, or
if you're leaving the house for 6 hours, you can turn around and say, hey, 2 hours, blast this place with ozone. When I come back, it'll be good. And that's kind of how we do things. Let's see what else we see. Roboting, pinging, lagging. Good morning from Maine. Hey, 74 County Girl. Let's see. How was West Virginia and the parents? Thank you for asking. You have an echo. Annie took care of the echo. And the perfect verse for this time is Deuteronomy 7:15. Yeah. There's a lot of verses out there that apply. But West Virginia was good. I went down, I saw my parents, and while I was there, I'm just making sure my parents don't get this stupid virus. My got the one of those air purifiers in their homes. I just working with them, love them to death. Didn't do a lot of work while I was down there, but everybody's doing okay. Let's see. Let's read that out. Deuteronomy 7:15. And the Lord will take away from thee all sicknesses, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which as thou knowest, upon thee, but will lay them upon all them that hate thee. Amen to that. You know, God is He's our refuge, people. He really is. I mean, these crazy times, you want to ask how to figure out your stress is just get quiet. Listen, tune in, however you want to look at it, but get to know God, and Christ just speaks right to you and just kind of says, hey, you know what, it's okay. Just do what you're doing and know what you're supposed to do. And in reality, people, all I'm telling you is to be responsible, and if I could just tell that to my kids sometime, how many of us have that, right? Do you get this? It's crazy. So I'm going to go and I'm going to go over there and I'm going to switch musical chairs again. Andy's going to jump in the driver's seat. I'm going to take in one last breath of this nice aromatherapy. And Andy, I'm going to give you your seat back. Take my water.
Okay. It's called Smile. It seemed to work. Smiled. Let's see. There you are.
There I am. Hey, back again with Snoops.
The oscillator looks good.
You guys like this? Yeah, I could talk about this sometime. Let's see. Did you hear of the air purifier brands? Okay, air purifier brands. You can go to, is it Pitt Green? PITTGREEN. I think it's pittgreen.com. And that's a guy local in Pittsburgh who I can't remember what he changed the name of. It used to be Pitt Green and it's something else, but I think pittgreen.com. And if you could check that out, that would be great. If you put in the code PAH for Pittsburgh Alternative Health, you get $100 off these units. They have all those basics. The original brand, like I said, was Alpine Air. It's now Vollara. There is a link for Vollara on my website, and Vollara still sells the same aspects and has those machines. They're just a little bit more expensive. They run about $800 through Vollara if you order it through the website.
Looks like it's greenenvironmentalsolutions.net.
There you go.
And he has a Nature air purifier. I don't know.
Yeah, and if you can include that link, if people turn around and use that link, if you put PAH, Pittsburgh Alternative Health, you'll get $100 off his unit. And just so you're aware of that. How many air purifiers would one need at home? Depends on how big your house is. Those air purifiers do up to 3,000 square feet. And so when you're looking at, air quality, they go into your air to change the air quality. Yet that one also has a filter and a HEPA filter for what air does go through the device gets highly filtered through a HEPA filter. And but you got to realize when you have these air purifiers that are just filtration systems where the air is going through the unit, think about how much airspace you have around you. Only about 30% of that air ends up going through that unit. So the idea is ionization goes into the air, ionizes the air, so all these particles grab onto what's floating around. They're attracted to it, these negative and positive ions. And then they get together because these like molecules attract each other to where they get so heavy that gravity takes them to the ground. And so you just need to have a good HEPA filter on your vacuum. So eventually you'll notice when you open up your curtains in the morning, and you typically were used to seeing that snowstorm in the sunlight. And we could talk about sunlight right now. I mean, have you guys seen how much pollution is cleared up with this COVID-19? Our Earth is getting a breath of fresh air. I love the aspects of Venice, and you can see me going off on a tangent here. But look up Venice; they can see the bottom of the canals. They had dolphins swimming in the canals. You know, they've done air quality studies looking from from satellite images, and even Los Angeles right now has doable air. You know, and all the air quality is cleaning up and everything. So, you know, hopefully this will make some environmental impact to where, as a world, we can turn around and say, hey, how about we shut down for a couple of days a month and just let's go back to what God has to offer us. So, getting on a soapbox anyway. But anyway, you know, I talked about Valar. I talked about, Pit Green, and Annie just gave you the other name, and I hope she just posted it in the chat. Marty has hubby has a lot of hip pain at night. He's very active. Would collagen help him? He's listening to collagen. Definitely helps with hip pain. You know, when you're looking at the aspect, what you have is tendons and muscles, and there you got inflammation going on in there. So with inflammation, bottom line, you have a calcium deficiency. If you want to talk RBTI and understanding the electrochemical nature, if a cell separates itself from being 100% efficient, the first thing that happens is it has a loss of calcium. So therefore, with a loss of calcium, there's a loss of density. And so with a loss of density, where that space is, where the calcium is, something has to fill it up. And what it does in the body is water. So there's a basic electrical mechanism for inflammation, you know, when you start looking at it from what Dr. Carrie Reams tried to teach us. So you got inflammation going on. So most people look at it, hey, why don't I take some turmeric or boswellia, which is frankincense, you know, which is the same, putting them on essential oils, you know, but collagen is basically what helps hold everything together. Collagen makes you look better, makes you feel better, and really helps with the joints, just to help to help that stuff to be made, giving it what it needs to lay down healthy cells in that area. And that's where we've done shows on vitamin C. Vitamin C is the glue for collagen, you know, and so you turn around and so right now it's hard to get vitamin C. I've got a few sources left that we're still providing, because one of the things for this viral life we're living right now is vitamin C levels. You know, vitamin C in China was one of the main IV therapeutics that they were doing for people in the hospitals. I'd love to know what the protocols here are in the United States, because the only medical blueprint that I have seen is all drug-based therapies. People, you're going to get me on another soapbox with that one and how we're treating this. So, but when you're talking the aspects of inflammation and what's going on in you, the idea is you're having a lack of calcium. If it's lower in your body, your pHs are probably down. So you're probably vitamin D deficient. You have to check these numbers. So when we go back, you're going to notice that I always swing back around to these numbers, because pH guides the efficiency of everything. pH guides how fast things are going. Chemistry reactions in your body, oxidation and reduction reactions, are based upon the pH. And the more acid you are, Reams showed, the more oxidation that's occurring, the more breakdown you have occurring. And so you have a pH imbalance. You have to correct those type of things and work on the basis of your chemistry, and then everything else starts to fix. But in the meantime, we could put boswellia on it. We could take extra vitamin C. We can give you some magnesium, give you the right calciums. We can give you collagen. Collagen is wonderful, helps aches and pains. And it's kind of like a Band-Aid. It's like a natural Band-Aid, but it helps, and it's wonderful. And do I take it on and off? Yeah, I do. How else would I have these lack of lines in my face, right? It's kidding, people. Annie, you're supposed to laugh on that, but you're stuck on looking at your phone and stuff.
Sorry. Yep.
So, but collagen definitely helps. I did a show on collagen. There's a few of them that I carry. I have a New Zealand, because I was talking about quality again, of product, and kava earlier. You can see how my brain just kind of runs in loops, people, and goes on tangents, but hopefully I keep bringing it back home. But when you're looking at quality of product is huge. And so collagen, the one, I think I have a bottle right here. Hold on.
Hold on. Yeah, I did see in China that they were doing vitamin C treatments. They were doing some in New York as well. I saw a doctor and one in Arizona.
Oh, good.
It's interesting. They're like, the alternative treatment, but they're doing it. So
good. I mean, it's needed. I mean, it's people. Vitamin C is vital. Zinc is vital for immune activity. Vitamin A, if you can get it, vitamin A would be really important right now. I talked about all these the last 2 weeks, and I don't want to just harp on telling you to take product, because my goal is to tell you to learn about this chemistry. It is so simple. It really is. You have some pH strips. You have a refractometer. You start understanding whether you're taking the right minerals based upon the pHs and whether you're drinking the right fluids based upon that Brix value. You control your sugars, you control your pHs. The saliva pH tells you the strength of your digestion, and the urine pH tells you how well your body's doing with processing everything. I'm always going to take it back to that. It's so vital because you can be healthy. You just have to be just understand the basis of what the pHs and the Brix are telling you. The reason I always tell you to look at the whole equation, because is when we look at the conductivity, which gives us an idea of salts, to look at the cell debris, when we look at those nitrates, it gives us protein building, protein breakdown. It gives us an idea of the body's in the detox pathway and whether you're able to detox what's going on inside of you. It's all about energy balance. And that equation that we've gone over 100 times tells you what's going on in your body, how well your body's handling this. So I notice my saliva pH goes up, my urine pH goes down, and what does that suggest? Can be a food sensitivity. It's stress on the body. Saliva pH is saying that the liver's slowing down and getting congested and not handling the stress as well. The overall pH says it's going fast because the body's saying, let's just get rid of this crap because we can't handle the load. And then my sugars, I do pretty well. My sugars, I typically keep them about 1.8, 1.8 to 2.2. And so I've learned how to drink water and control my sugars really well. But the pHs, it's down to me being consistent with taking my own supplements and consistency with diet. I know it. It's responsibility, and that's what we all need to be, is responsibility for ourselves, And so I'm personally irresponsible for my own health, but I know my thresholds, and I know that when I get to a point, I've got colonics, I have sauna, I get an infrared sauna regularly. So I'm sitting here justifying my actions like we all do, right? But let's be responsible. I was going back and just saying in regards to collagen, AminoSculpt is the brand it's a collagen peptide that I really readily available. Most people, it's an ounce a day. Do not use the cap as your measuring device. It is like a syrup. And so you want to pour it into, I get one of those graduated cups, pour it into the bottom, pour an ounce into the bottom. And then when I put the lid back on, I make sure the lid's clean, because that will become a goopy mess, people. Just letting you know, it's like a syrup, tastes like a cherry drink, mix it with water, but it's readily available. And for people who are having aches, pains, and just, musculoskeletal things, it's a wonderful product to take. And it doesn't mess with your chemistry. It actually can keep people in a basis. Sometimes it can slow it down a little bit. We just watch it, and then we just adjust our vitamin C or something accordingly. So, let's see what other questions we have going on out there. How many air purifiers? One. I was saying that. You're going to turn around. They're 3,000 square feet. Now, my house, built in 1824, solid as a rock. I have one on every level. I have 3 of them in my house. But I would tell you, one in your primary living area to take care of where you are should do the job for you. Got a nebulizer. Good, Connie. So nebulize. The problem is when you're nebulizing colloidal silver, which is great. Colloidal silver is hypotonic. It doesn't have enough mineral in it. So either you got to mix it with some saline or a little bit of trace amount of salt in there. So you got to make saline is 0.9% sodium chloride. So if you know how to calculate that goes back to pharmacy calculations, and I'm not going to do it on the air, but there should be a little salt in there, so you're not putting a fluid directly in the lungs like colloidal silver, which is made in distilled water, if it has a different tonicity or a different osmotic pressure, I don't know how to say it without science, people. I don't want to go like I'm over your head, but I don't know how to say it without science. If the number of stuff in the one fluid is not the same as the number of stuff in your lungs, if it goes in there and there's not enough in there, it'll suck the minerals so rapidly from your lungs, it'll destroy the cells. Does that explain it, Annie?
That does explain it, and that's scary. So yeah, get that right.
Yeah, so you got to add. So usually people will mix a little bit of like 3 mLs of normal saline with 3 mLs of colloidal silver. And that's what I've heard about people doing as a nebulizer. I am not telling you to nebulize colloidal silver, people. I'm not telling you to use colloidal silver as a treatment. I would tell you that I pour it up my nostrils every day in a neti pot. I put about a tablespoon in my neti pot, and I flush out my nostrils twice a day. I also, when I'm being accountable to myself, twice a day. Other times I skip days, being real. And then I take colloidal silver. I'm taking about 3 to 4 ounces a day. And then my vitamin C and the other things, that my zinc. But people, I would be honest, I think I'm my worst patient. I'm just glad that I have at the Access what I have at my Access, because I'm inconsistent with my supplementation. And because I honestly wish and know that we can do this without supplementation. We just don't have the food source. And that's another whole, let's open up another, bag of worms and say, do you want to talk agriculture? Do you want to talk how we can address this and how we can grow foods that are high bricks that give you what you need? I'm
gonna put it to the test this year. I'm sending my soil off, and I'm gonna do one big section of my garden with it this year. So we'll see what happens. Excited.
I have not prepped my garden. It is time to start prepping, especially with this warming that we've been having. It looks like it's going to be like 72 degrees in Pittsburgh tomorrow, but raining.
Amazing. Everything is finally getting green. It's awesome.
It is. All right, let's see what we have here. I'd like to start using colloidal silver. Not sure how to use it. Just talked about that. I also have, like I said, I put colloidal silver in a spray bottle with about 9 drops of Thieves essential oil. And I mist that on everything. I get in my car, I'll mist it on everything. I'll mist it all over myself. Just don't get it in your eyes, But that's kind of one way that we help to kind of kill some microbes there. Let me see. Taking it orally, colloidal silver. Typically, kids can do anywhere from a teaspoon to a tablespoon twice a day, depending on the age. Younger kids, I do a teaspoon twice a day. Adults, I'm taking up to 4 ounces, but I usually tell people, depending if you're quarantining yourself and everything preventatively, you could do like a tablespoon twice a day, which would be an ounce. If you're going out in public, do an ounce before you go out, do an ounce when you get back, gargle and swallow it. You need to keep those mucus secretions thin. So drinking warm fluids, gargling warm salt water, herbal teas. There are great herbal teas for opening up the airways that have some of those herbs that I talked about in them. But just keep that mucus thin. Dairy thickens that mucus. Let's kill the dairy industry right now, and because that is so mucus producing. So you want to decrease foods that cause you to make more mucus, because that's where it's going to harbor if you're exposed to this. It is quite a virulent virus, but I don't think it's as, not everybody has to be as susceptible, which is what I'm trying to tell you is how not to get this. They've shown that if you go out into public, when you walk into your house, go straight to the shower. Get those clothes off of you, shower, potential of it being in your hair, on your clothes. Take those clothes, throw them in the washer, and spray something and clean the countertop surfaces that you just touched. Yeah, live a little paranoid right now, because you don't want this virus, people. You really don't. And it's a shame that we have so many people that are sharing it in our country and not doing some precautions, what we've been doing. But anyway, I'm not going to go there. Let's see. Is powdered collagen safe to take daily? Collagen in general is, but I'd ask where that collagen's coming from. A lot of it comes from chickens that are fed genetically modified corn. Just look for your source. I only carry AminoSculpt. and then I carry another product. Hold on one second.
Go find it. I'm not sure what he's after.
Aha! So it's New Zealand-based collagen. It's made by Enviromedica. It basically it says cartilage collagen. That's because all of theirs is from New Zealand, grass-fed, pure organic-based beef collagen. So you're just looking for what you are taking in that regard. Which type of collagen? I love that peptide for. It's usually type 2 is what you're finding, but I don't even say that it says on here that they're breaking it down. But I'm going to go off the collagen subject here. Let's see. China was also doing ozone therapy with the vitamin C. I don't doubt it. I mean, there are the natural mechanisms of using ozone and how that kills viral loads. It makes sense. Hey, Annie, I have somebody who is coming in, and I'm going to tell them that the back door is open. And so I'm going to have you let them in when they get here, okay?
Yep.
So, of course, that's family coming in because it'd be illegal to be having other people come into my office, right? Does Tryman have enough zinc? Yes. Can the refractometer be used by more than one person? Heck yeah. As many as you want to use it on. Just rinse it with some water in between uses. We all use the same refractometer. Yes. I'm all about the self-healing. Wilhelm Reich, amen to that. Wilhelm Reich, when you're looking at these electrical therapies, Lavotsky did the multi-wave oscillator. I've got Rife equipments. I got static generators. Electric. It's everything around you is electric, people. Wilhelm Reich, he learned how to concentrate energy by using metals and crystals, and he created what's called orgonite or orgone energy. And so he was building these chambers of massive amounts of orgone, putting people inside of them, and they were getting better of all these weird diseases. So it just goes to explain that everything is energy. And I'm not telling you to go buy a multi-wave oscillator. I love turning this thing on and sitting in between it. It's just there are so many ways that you can approach things. Viruses can't live in an electrostatic field. So, jump on my static generator for 30 minutes and I'm good. We're not being told science. We're being fed information of how to protect yourself using, in my opinion, toxic products but just in general, whatever it takes, people, be smart. Let me see. Refractometer is easily cleaned. Aminoscope collagen can be ordered from me. Yes, it can. Thank you, Connie. 3 mLs of saline with 3 mLs of colloidal silver. Yes. In a nebulizer. That is what I have seen used, and that's personally what I have done myself. Grapefruit seed oil spray for sinuses. How often? So grapefruit seed is a powerful antifungal. And those of you who have been exposed to mold, if you smelled mold, people, you go in your basement and, what's that? If you smell that gas, you've been exposed to mold. And so what's been shown with people who have these chronic mold-related illnesses is that like 95% of it have it living in your sinuses. And so personally, what I do in my neti pot is distill water, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of colloidal silver, and 1 drop of grapefruit seed extract, because I've been exposed to mold. I've had sinus issues. I wake up blowing snot in my house, and it's all because of the mold and the water damage that I've had in my house in the past. I ripped this stuff out, wore those lovely masks and everything that get down to the best one that I could buy, but I didn't realize, because I didn't do my homework, that mycotoxins are so small that they go right through that mask. So I was loaded with mycotoxins when I did my mycotoxin test, and we talked about that. So colloidal silver and grapefruit seed extract, you can do 1 drop. If I have these nasal spray bottles that are right here, And we'll put colloidal silver in these. Gotta reach over the display, but I'll do colloidal silver. We have little nasal spray bottles, and then we'll put like 1 drop of grapefruit seed extract in this, and just snort it up into your sinuses. If you go outside and you're around people, squirting this stuff, I carry a bottle with me, and I can just squirt it up into my nostrils, and like, okay, if something's up there, I'm just going to knock it out, not going to give it that opportunity to lay a foundation. Let's see, what else do we have here? Can we put plain colloidal silver in our eyes? Again, that hypotonicity issue, it will burn, if you do that. I have an eye drop that's made that has colloidal silver and trace mineral drops in it, that as an eye drop, just a wetting drop. I love this stuff, people. I've seen it knock out conjunctivitis in multiple kids. I can show it to you, but I'm not saying that it works diagnostically. I don't know how you guys I don't know how you like me being near my office supply of all my supplements, but Bionativus, I've got stuff from them. They have trace minerals. I have people who get in an infrared sauna and get their own. These are great trace mineral drops to use like after a sauna, made from real salt, basically. But the eye drops that they have them at the right tonicity for the eye, and they have colloidal silver in them. And so I have seen those eye drops knock out the nastiest of eye infections and stuff like that. But I'm not claiming to treat your eyes with something instead of going to your doctor. You guys have to always have that understanding of where I'm coming from. This is not a show based upon diagnostics and what do I do. I want you to see. We could talk about why would you get an eye infection? Why would you have dry eyes? It comes down to salt and water thicknesses in your body, and that comes down to your conductivity value, that salt value. If that salt when that salt value goes high, typically above 10, you start producing cholesterol. Your blood starts getting thick. Your arteries get a little rigid. Your fluids in your body get thick. They agglutinate. Your blood agglutinates. You don't carry oxygen as well. Your nerves start getting irritated. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Andy's tuned out again.
I'm replying to the chat.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So I love Andy's comments. Are like, oh, Doc, that sounds great. But, so it's conductivity, and you could turn around and just understand all of this, any health concern based upon what this chemistry tells you. I don't know why I've been placed in a position that my brain works the way that it does, and that I'm supposed to feel like I need to teach people about this stuff. Especially look at the times that we live in. I look at that and I just think that God's timing is always the best timing, and that there's a reason. And so, people, I'm trying to equip you. So I've got Annie. We've got the book where she's working on diagrams and things to put pictures in the book.
Yes.
I'm trying to help work on turning basic understanding of diet into an RBTI perspective. It's never been created in that perspective. RBTI, Ream's biological theory of ionization, it was taught on aspects of legality. You do this or you don't do well. And you have to understand that this is a system of measurement. And basically, if you measure, you know that you're not doing well. It's going to hold you responsible. This is the best way for you to love yourself, for you to understand how to take care of yourself. This basic aspect of measuring yourself at home is it's invaluable from a health perspective. And so that's my message. That's what I need to get out and have people understand. And so when I keep doing these shows and I see, the questions are always, can I take this or what do I do? And I love the fact that, everybody can hear the benefits of having an air purifier, drinking distilled water. And I could go over why we do these things. And I have to always bring it back to these basic principles, because that's my message. My message is you can be healthy and you can understand your health. And then when these numbers kind of stop moving and you're like, why are they not moving? Find somebody like me or somebody, like Earth Garden Living out there who's learning how to do this stuff. And it's not that complicated.
They literally just ask when they can buy your book.
When can you buy my book? Ask Annie when it's going to be done.
Soon.
Eddie.
Soon.
Yeah, we're getting there, people. We're getting there. Can you explain the little device Annie had last week? What device did you have last week?
I had the Bob Beck device. His zapper. I tagged it. I bought it on Etsy for about $100. A guy out of Switzerland sells them.
Yeah, Bob Beck, Hulda Clark was the cure of all diseases. Bob Beck came behind. They have basic protocols. Bob Beck is, what they do is they recognized how Royal Rife back in the 1930s identified, like the previous blood people, Enderline and stuff, that when our body becomes imbalanced, there's a train of microorganisms that overgrow and they're associated with whatever disease you have. And so Rife created electrical. He turned around and looked under a microscope at these microbes, and then changed an electrical frequency running across the microscope plate until he found the frequency that vibrated with the microbes. And then when their cell membranes were vibrating, boom, they blew up. So he found frequencies that caused microbes to explode. It's called apoptosis if a microbe kills itself. And so he was treating disease and curing tuberculosis and cancer just by clearing out the microbes. But he also said that a person who has a healthy pH is a healthy person. And Reams showed us biologically that healthy pH is 6.4, not 7.0, like a lot of people are out there proclaiming that you need to be that alkaline. You don't. During periods of healing, you will see that your pH will raise up 6.6 or so, but you don't need to be at a 7.0. And because mathematically, Reams explained it. God, I get passionate about this stuff, don't I? Okay, let me see what else.
That's kind of the good thing about your book is it's a bunch of small conversations that I've had with you over periods of time, and now it's nice to actually have a place to have it all together and source it and remember it, because it's a lot.
It is a lot. Hey, guys, you can see I just keep pulling from all these different places, and my brain just drives me crazy sometimes. So I have Dr. Misak shots every now and then, and I get in a sauna quite often to find some peace. So how do we order from you during shutdown? You call my office or email my office. And right now, my office is having a 15% off sale up through the 31st, meaning people who are ordering vitalometry through my office, people who are ordering vitamin C, colloidal silver. We got shipment coming in again, zinc. I still have this stuff, people. And I'm just helping people. I made that flu no-sode. Remember I talked about homeopathic no-sodes and how homeopathy, you could take a frequency or a dilution of a virus like the flu or coronavirus. And the idea homeopathically is the energy of that stimulates your body against it. So I make flu no-sodes and I imprint them, because who has a coronavirus frequency? I don't know anybody who's taken a swab of somebody who has coronavirus yet and made one homeopathically, but there has been identified a frequency in the past with the company that carries that EAV equipment. So I have a coronavirus frequency in there, and then that equipment can make homeopathic dilutions of a frequency. So I can take the standard homeopathic dilutions found in what's called a no-sode, a multiple homeopathic for stimulating your body against some microbe, and I made it of the coronavirus, and then you can imprint, meaning that you can project that energy into water, distilled water with a trace amount of alcohol, so you're not growing bugs in there. And so, and then water carries that energy, water carries that frequency, and so that's why we succuss. We bang the remedies before we use it to activate that energy, and that's homeopathy, people. It goes back, closing in on 200 years, and homeopathy is powerful. So I made a homeopathic no-sode with a coronavirus imprint, and I am not at all saying that my no-sode is going to protect you, that my no-sode can stimulate your body, because that's making a claim. I'm just telling you that I'm taking it.
and then I've made it available if anybody wants to purchase it. But again, how we get those things is calling my office, which is 412-563-1600. But I prefer you send an email, because we've had in the past where my office gets flooded with calls, and I'm short-staffed, and right now it's me with this thing. I'm the only one who comes in here. I can bring my daughter when she's not having to do online school, and process orders, doing phone consults with people. And so it's a little crazy time right now. So, but you can get all of this stuff still. Just email my office, say what you're wanting. We would just turn around, give you a call back, and get the information we need. Yeah, Bob Beck's device again. When can I buy your book? Yeah, I know. I'm getting there. We're getting there. And so the last thing, I'm just going to close on Bob Beck's device, because it's 11 already, and this time flies by. But Bob Beck's is a modification of a Rife machine. And so what they've done is they found specific frequencies, and I don't know if Bob Beck's is how many frequencies it channels through, but it's taking various frequencies, harmonizing them. I have a little zapper that we used to get. It's a little bit more expensive than a $100 Beck device. I think it was like $250 or something like that. It's a harmonic quad, runs about 5 frequencies that are highly common for common bacteria and parasites. And Bob Beck would use an electric zapper. He would use ozone water. He has you buy an ozonator, and you can ozonate your water. And then he also does other protocols that are anti-parasitic herbally. And while just on a daily basis for people to keep the microbial load, and the microbes are real, people. For every cell in your body, you have 10 microbes in your body. They outnumber you 10-1. When you die and you go and you start decomposing, even though you've been in, had that crap put in you, if you try to, get filled with formaldehyde, you still break down, and there's still worms and things. Why? They're already in you. These microbes are in us, people, all over you. It's just our healthy immune system. I think Annie should show the meme that she has about vaccines today and hold it up to the screen for everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But,
it's a good one.
if you have a healthy immune system, these microbes are in balance. It's when everything inside. So hold it. So
I don't know if you're
there you go.
Get it.
In a little bit. There you go. Can you stop? There you go. What a blunder. I forgot to complete the immune system. I can count on you to address this.
So funny.
Isn't that great, people?
Yeah, hold on. You have to leave it so they can read it. It's a good one. Okay.
People, what do we believe? I hope in the God Almighty, who's got us all under control, and that you let him take your burdens. The whole basis of today was to talk about stress. As usual, I'm all over the place talking about other things. I hope you like the lab coat. Makes it at least look professional. I love what I do, people. I think I have a message, and it is that you can be healthy. I'm encouraging you to be responsible for your own health, to learn and understand your health, and to love yourself. Find quiet time for you and God. Just be there and let him tell you how to handle this stress. Hear that little voice inside. Recognize when it says to do something that you actually respond to it and know where it's coming from. People. God's in all this with you. He's not leaving you alone. And that is the best comfort you can have for any type of stress that you're having right now. And I wish that I could turn around and tell you I got the magic product. I wish that I could turn around and bottle up my Dr. Misak shots and have everybody feeling the way that I do right now. People, I just hope and pray that you kind of hang in there. I'll be here as often as I can. Annie, is there anything that you want to say before we close out for the day?
No, not really. Talking about stress, just take time to stay in the moment, and we're all going to be okay.
Amen to that. Take care, everybody. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.